To many outsiders, Serbia's refusal to recognize Kosovo may seem irrational or even self-defeating. Wouldn't recognition speed up Serbia's path to the EU, improve its relations with the West, perhaps even attract more foreign investment, and help resolve a decades-long regional conflict? Aren't those the kinds of goals any forward-looking country would want to achieve? Well, it turns out it's not so black and white. For Serbians, giving up Kosovo isn't just a political choice. For them, it's like giving up a part of who they are. This isn't just about pride or stubbornness. It's a complex issue tied to history, national identity, political survival, and of course, big picture geopolitics. In this video, we're diving into why Kosovo matters to Serbia so much, and why it also matters to the United States, and how this situation might unfold in the future. Welcome to The Sovereign Thinker. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you too can be a sovereign thinker. Since Kosovo declared independence in 2008, it's been stuck in a kind of geopolitical limbo. Some countries recognize it as an independent state, others still see it as part of Serbia. The world is basically divided in the middle, and the list of recognizers occasionally shifts, with some countries removing their recognition while others recognizing its independence. This divide is especially noticeable when you compare the positions of the G7 and BRICS countries, who all recognize the strategic importance of Southeastern Europe, hence the divide. The G7 nations all recognize Kosovo, with the US leading the charge, and on the other hand, the BRICS countries support Serbia's position, who are skeptical of Western-backed independence movements. At the same time, Serbia is surrounded by EU and NATO member states, and it's deeply embedded in the Western geopolitical sphere. So from a surface-level view, it might seem like recognizing Kosovo is the only logical next step, since all the BRICS members are rather far away, and the West is right in Serbia's neighborhood. But again, it's not that simple. The place of the blackbird, or as it's called in Serbian, Kosovo, isn't just a region, it's the spiritual heart of the Serbian nation. For Serbians, it holds the same emotional and historical weight that Israel holds for Jews. Kosovo is home to some of Serbia's most important historical and religious sites. It's also the place of important historical moments for the Serbian people, like the founding of the Serbian Orthodox Church in the town called Peć. It was also where Dušan's Code, a highly advanced legal system for its time, was put into practice. Though first drafted in Skopje, which is in today's North Macedonia, but it was in Kosovo where the code was truly adopted, and from where it spread throughout the Serbian Empire, meaning Kosovo was the center of Serbian civilization. But of course, the most defining event in Kosovo's legacy is the Battle of Kosovo in 1389. This battle became a cornerstone of Serbian cultural memory, and under centuries of harsh Ottoman and later Austrian rule, Serbian identity was preserved through the stories and epic poems passed down through generations recounting the Battle of Kosovo. But when the Ottomans first started taking control of Southeastern Europe, the region's ethnic and religious makeup began to shift, especially in Kosovo. Over the centuries, many Serbians began to leave Kosovo due to discrimination and oppression, while Muslim Albanians, seen as loyal subjects to the Ottoman Empire, settled in. This slow demographic change continued well into the 20th century, leading to the Albanian majority we see in Kosovo today. Despite that, Kosovo remains central to the Serbian national consciousness. And this is evident inside Serbia today. No political party can afford to recognize Kosovo without serious backlash. Serbians see Kosovo as occupied territory, not necessarily by Albanians, but by the United States. Kosovo today hosts one of the largest military bases in Europe, Camp Bondsteel. Recognizing Kosovo would be seen as handing over the heart of Serbia to a foreign power. And to many Serbians, Kosovo's independence wasn't a natural outcome, but the result of centuries of outside interference, culminating in the 1999 NATO bombing campaign. In their eyes, Kosovo wasn't lost, it was taken. And with this in mind, as you can imagine, if any Serbian leader recognized Kosovo would likely face accusations of betrayal, massive protests would follow, and there would be a political collapse. So even if recognition might bring international rewards, the domestic cost is simply too high. There's also the issue of double standards. Other independence movements like Catalonia in Spain have been denied by the West, or even Russia's annexation of Crimea was condemned, and in both the Catalonian and Crimean cases, territorial integrity was cited. But Kosovo's unilateral declaration of independence was welcomed and even supported by the US and NATO and the EU, throwing Serbia's territorial integrity to the wayside. And this leaves us with an important question. Why is Kosovo treated differently? And why does the US maintain such a massive military base there? Kosovo is more than a cultural symbol or political issue. It's also a strategic military asset, and at the heart of this is Camp Bondsteel, the largest US base in southeastern Europe. Southeastern Europe holds strategic position, which is why numerous empires have passed through the region over the centuries. Its importance varies depending on the power in question and from which direction they come from, but one constant remains. Southeastern Europe is a crossroads, and at a crossroads, you have access to multiple directions. If left uncontrolled, this opens the door to vulnerability and potential attack, but if you control it, well then the reverse is true. You can project power in several directions simultaneously, which is why crossroads in general are so violently fought over. And Southeastern Europe is not the only such crossroads. Others like the Levant and the Caucasus have also seen their fair share of external interference and conflict due to similar strategic significance. Now, to understand the significance of Bondsteel in Kosovo is to understand the broader network of US military bases across Europe. Bondsteel sits at the nexus of other major US NATO bases, forming a network, including major bases like Ramstein in Germany, Aviano in Italy, Incirlik in Turkey, and Suda Bay in Greece, just to name a few. These bases form a tightly connected system designed for fast response, mutual support, and power projection. Camp Bondsteel plays two important roles. Firstly, securing NATO's southeastern edge and supporting newer bases established after NATO expanded towards Russia in 2004. And secondly, it's a bridge between Western Europe and the eastern frontier. It allows the US to quickly respond to military needs across Eastern Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. Basically, the base is the second line of defense of Western Europe should the forward NATO positions be compromised. But the real strategic purpose here is that Bondsteel is a key part of a broader strategy to contain rival powers like Russia and increasingly China. Bondsteel ensures that the strategic location that is southeastern Europe stays firmly under Western dominance. And I know it seems far-fetched that either Russia or China can have any significant presence in the region, but military planning isn't about today, it's about tomorrow. It's about staying one step ahead, preventing any rivals from exploiting any weaknesses in your defense network. And in this light, Bondsteel is more than just a base. It's a geopolitical statement that Kosovo is firmly within the Western sphere. Lastly, it's important to note that while Kosovo holds strategic value, Serbia is even more significant. Serbia is the primary geographical prize in southeastern Europe, situated at the very heart of the region's crossroads. However, Serbians have historically proven to be unreliable subjects for foreign powers and have even often fought back, be it the Ottomans, the Austro-Hungarians, or even now the United States. So the logic then is straightforward. If Serbia won't ally with us or become a reliable partner, Kosovo will. We'll support and reward the Albanians since they are loyal subjects, and through the Albanians, we will create permanent presence. History tells us that empires don't last forever. The US, NATO, and the EU won't always be the dominant players in southeastern Europe. Eventually, their focus and funding will shift. Bases like Bondsteel will close, and US troops will be gone. And the big question is, what will the Albanians do? They will essentially find themselves isolated and vulnerable. For decades, Albanians have aligned themselves with foreign powers while antagonizing Serbia, but without any international backing, that position becomes shaky. After years of tension, destruction of Serbian heritage, historical revisionism, and hostile rhetoric, there's a lot of unresolved anger. And if the power balance changes, Serbia might try to reclaim Kosovo, and that could turn violent. But for now, that violent outcome isn't guaranteed, but it is possible, and in geopolitics, possibilities need to be taken under consideration. And for Kosovo Albanians, time isn't on their side. The wiser move is to begin rebuilding trust with Serbia while they still have leverage. True peace can't depend on foreign support alone. It has to come from within, through compromise, humility, and regional cooperation. Many Albanians believe that Western pressure will eventually force Belgrade to recognize Kosovo. But even if that happens, Serbia could later argue that it was done under duress, and therefore the recognition itself is invalid, because the bottom line is, even if Belgrade one day recognizes Kosovo, Serbians, by and large, still won't, and the struggle will continue. And when the balance of power shifts, and again, history suggests that it will, Serbia will reclaim Kosovo by legal or, if necessary, military means. That's why reconciliation for the Albanians isn't surrender, it's survival. It's all about choosing a stable future. And in reality, Serbia and Albania could be strong partners. They actually need each other, economically, politically, and strategically. Serbia has long-term interests in Albania, and Albania could thrive through cooperation with Serbia. Because at the end of the day, geopolitics isn't about ideals, it's about strategy. And if Kosovo Albanians don't recognize that soon, the myth of independence could cost them everything. In the end, Kosovo's future won't be decided by foreign powers. It will be decided in the region itself, by the people who live there. Southeastern Europe has been shaped by centuries of empire, conflict, and shifting alliances, but its long-term stability depends on local reconciliation, not foreign guarantees. True sovereignty means making hard choices not with emotion or ideology, and perhaps the hardest truth of all is this: peace requires recognition of the reality of the situation and embracing that reality. I guess time will tell whether my analysis is correct, but until then, ciao for now.